Buyu TSC Dala. Buyu TSC Dala. Buyu TSC Dala.
Hello, I am Rozaah Akinyi Buyu, the woman representative of Kisumu County. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the people of Kisumu County for the acknowledgement and appreciation that they've shown in the work that we do with them. Kisumu County is vast. It has 7 sub-counties. And as a woman representative, your mandate is to serve each of these sub-counties equally. Your mandate is also to serve everybody in the county, regardless of whether they voted for you or not. So my first issue was, how was I going to maintain visibility and presence in the whole county? So I opened offices in each of the sub-counties. So when you come to Kisumu, we have an office in each constituency and a one county coordinating office in Kisumu Central. The reason why I did this was to make us more accessible, because what happens is if you have just one office in the county, people have to spend a lot of money trying to reach you. And even your programs and activities are not well coordinated in all the sub-counties. I then embarked on knowing exactly what the needs of the people were, because Kisumu County, like all the other counties, is made up of different ages, is made up of different groups, but yet you must reach each of these groups. So the first thing I did was look at the young boys, and I discovered that the need of these young boys was to actually get their talent nurtured. Many of them are talented in games or sports like football, in music, but they need nurturing. So we embarked on a football program for the whole county. We enrolled 280 teams, starting right from the grassroots, 8 teams per ward, culminating in 280 teams in the whole county. We supplied each team with balls, we supplied each team with uniforms, because, as you know, in the rural areas, a lot of these talented boys do not even have a football to play with. So they use homemade balls. So we decided to give them good exposure. In the end, I will tell you that many of these boys were scouted, and some of them are playing for teams like Kisumu Hot Stars, are playing for Chemelil, are playing for Sonny Sugar, just arising out of the exposure that we gave them. We've continued to do this, and we are following up these teams, supplying them with balls whenever they need, supplying them with coaches, so that in the end, a few of them can actually make a living out of this talent. We then moved on to the young girls who are in primary schools and secondary schools. And Kisumu County has about 42,000 girls in primary from standard 6 to form 4. We know that many girls are kept out of school because of lack of sanitary towels, lack of protection during menstruation cycle. So what we did is we are running a program where we ensure that the girls get sanitary pads, at least for usage in the 5 days a month when they might be going through menstruation. We know, and there's good statistics to show that girls are kept out of school 5 days in a month. When you total 5 days in a month, in a term that has 3 months, it totals up to 15 days in a month, 15 days in a term. In a year that has 3 terms, it actually totals up to 45 days in a year, meaning a girl is kept out of school for 1.5 months. In a year, you can calculate that in 4 years, how many months a girl misses school. So in order to encourage these girls to keep in school, we provide sanitary towels, although I will admit there's a big constraint because of budget, low budget. So we are not able to do this as well as we'd like to do it. We also looked at another segment of girls. These are girls who've done Form 4 but did not achieve good grades to enable them to go to other colleges. Grades like D, grades like E, and yet they are girls within the society who must be helped. So we enroll these girls, working very closely with the National Industrial Training Authority, which is also called NITA, to empower these girls with skills that they could use for self-empowerment and skills that they can use wherever they go. Skills like plumbing, skills like mechanics, skills like tiling, skills like masonry, skills like beauty, skills like hairdressing, any skill that could empower these girls to prepare them for the future. We have graduated 220 girls in the first year. Currently, we have another 200 who have gone through the 6 months training but are waiting to go through practicals, and the program has actually been affected by the COVID pandemic. But I'm sure and hope that even if we will not get to the 1,000 girls who we had hoped to get to by the end of our 5-year term, we will actually empower with skills 800 girls in Kisumu County. We also embarked on another program with the boda sector in a project called Transforming Your Lives from Riders to Owners. We know that majority of these boda boys who ride motorbikes do not own those motorbikes. They are simply riders. So we embarked on a program to move them from just being riders to being owners of the motorbikes that they ride. The motorbike is not theirs. They pay at least 400 to 500 shillings to the owner of the motorbike on a daily basis and spend another 300 to 400 shillings fueling that motorbike. At the end of the day, they only have 200 shillings to take home. 200 shillings for a young man who probably has a young family, or a young man who probably has to look after his old ailing parents is just not enough. And this could be one of the root causes of why we see many of these boda boys probably being lured into criminal activities, because they just can't make ends meet. So what we did is we partnered with Car and General, who actually agreed to give us motorbikes so long as the boys would ride those bikes and on a weekly basis pay back for those motorbikes, so that by the end of 1 year they're actually owners of those bikes. And it's a program that has really worked. The first lot is almost completing payment, and we are going to take the next lot of another 175 young men so that we empower them and we ensure that they own their businesses. We also went into Juakali sector because we know that a lot of people are in that Juakali sector. We looked at mechanics and said, it's just not good enough for you to sort out a car. Sometimes the owner of a car wants something extra than just mechanical works. The owner of the car might need you to wash a car. The owner of the car might need to have his car sprayed. So if you have a washing machine or if you have a spraying machine, then there's value added to your business of mechanics. So we add a lot of value by giving them spraying machines, by giving them washing machines, so that their business is enhanced and they're able to make more and take home a little more to better their lives. We've also gone through our economic empowerment program to work with the women. A lot of women in Kisumu County do small businesses, sometimes called abedo or aswekra in Luo. These women sell their wares out in scorching sun, and when it rains, they have to pack up their wares and go home, regardless of whether they've made any money or not. And yet they have to fend for their families and they have to put food on the table for their families. So what we do with these women, we've put them in groups so that we are able to help them within their groups. Remember, NGAF money is not too much, and that's why NGAF money is not targeted at individual pockets, but it's targeted at groups so that you can grow within your group. So we put these women in groups that are commonly known as chamas. We look at these chamas and we put all the chamas within a ward together and form a CBO. And through those CBOs, we're able to put in money so that the small chamas can actually borrow from the bigger CBOs to either do table banking or to do other small little economic activities that they might be involved in to enhance their lives. We also look at the women who are selling out in the scorching sun, like I've said, and apart from the umbrellas or mobile shelters that we gave them, we've actually embarked on doing modern markets for them, so that whether it rains or whether it's sunny, the women are kept healthy and their wares are also kept healthy so that the wares are able to produce more. Because if the product looks healthy, people are more enticed to buy, and you are also able to sell it at a good price. So we've already done a market at Dunga in Kisumu Central. We've also done another modern market in Akado in Seme sub-county. Currently, we are doing a market in Obambo in Kisumu West sub-county, and before our term ends in the remaining 2 years, we hope to do another 2 markets in 2 other sub-counties. But guess what? That is not all. We also look at the elderly. Many a time we take it for granted that the elderly are also kept warm in the night because they might have duvets or blankets. But the truth is, many of these elderly people die of cold and die of pneumonia. So we put in an effort to ensure that in as much as we can, we supply a blanket. It might not sound too much, it might sound like nothing, but it is life-saving for the elderly. We supply a blanket to the elderly so that at least they're kept warm at night. You will not believe it, but the excitement and the gratitude on the faces of the elderly people is just amazing. But we also don't forget about people living with disability. And in all the programs or activities that we have, 10% of those people involved in those activities are actually people living with disabilities. Whether it is in terms of empowering women, whether it's in terms of training girls with NITA, whether it's in terms of sanitary towels, whatever we do, 10% is always left specifically for people living with disability. We've gone 3 years down the lane. We still have 2 years. But my promise and my commitment is we as an office will do our best to listen to the people so that whatever programs and activities we come up with are those programs and activities that will actually go a long way in impacting their lives. And last but not least, I'd like to give special thanks to the people who work in my office, the Office of the Women Rep in Kisumu. I have 42 employees, 20 within our county office and the other 20 in the sub-county offices. These people are dedicated. These people are hardworking. These people perform. And I'd like to thank them for enabling us to get to the position of #1 in the whole country. I'd also like to tell them that there's joy in service. And let us continue serving the people of Kisumu. Thank you and God bless you.
Ngama pingi yonge nyaga gwamboyo nyaga moloyo okana pingi nyere winja weri kama nyajo bondoyo okana pingi nyere winja paki kama